When have you seen the real world hit a spoiled brat? This rich kid Jake at my school loved tormenting David, whose mom worked as our night janitor. Jake would dump David's lunch, call him janitor boy, and laugh about how poor his family was. See, David's dad had died in a construction accident when he was 10. His mom Maria took the night janitor job because it was the only work that let her be home when David got out of school. She'd work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. cleaning classrooms, then rush home just in time to make David breakfast and walk him to the bus stop. David knew how hard his mom worked. He'd see her come home exhausted, her hands cracked and raw from the industrial cleaners. Sometimes she'd fall asleep at the kitchen table while helping him with homework, still in her work uniform because she was too tired to change. But David never complained, never asked for the expensive clothes other kids wore or the latest gadgets. He knew every dollar his mom earned went toward keeping their tiny apartment and putting food on the table. Jake, meanwhile, got a brand new car for his 16th birthday. Not just any car, but a BMW that cost more than David's mom made in 2 years. Jake would rev the engine in the school parking lot, making sure everyone heard him coming. The bullying got worse after Jake overheard David on the phone with his mom one day. David was quietly explaining that he couldn't go on the school trip because they couldn't afford it. His voice cracked a little when he said, "It's okay, Mom. I don't really want to go anyway." From that moment, Jake seemed to take personal pleasure in reminding David of everything he couldn't have. He'd eat expensive sushi in front of David during lunch, loudly talking about his family's weekend trips to Aspen. He'd accidentally drop his designer wallet near David's table, making sure David saw the thick stack of $100 bills inside. What hurt David most wasn't the money stuff. It was when Jake started making jokes about his dad. "At least my dad's smart enough not to fall off buildings," Jake said once, loud enough for half the cafeteria to hear. David's hands clenched into fists that day, but he just walked away. He couldn't fight back. Getting suspended would mean his mom would have to miss work for meetings with the principal, and they couldn't afford that. The breaking point came 3 months later. David had been carrying around this old photo of his dad in his wallet, the only picture he had of them together. His dad was holding him as a baby, both of them smiling. One day, Jake grabbed David's backpack and dumped everything out in front of the whole cafeteria. Books, papers, his mom's old lunch container scattered everywhere. But the worst part was when Jake picked up David's wallet and the photo fell out. Jake held it up for everyone to see. "Aw, look everyone, it's dead daddy." That's when I saw something break inside David. His face went completely white, and for a second, I thought he might actually swing at Jake. Instead, he just knelt down and carefully picked up the photo, his hands shaking. The whole cafeteria had gone dead silent. Even Jake's usual crowd looked uncomfortable, but Jake wasn't done. "Oops," Jake laughed. "Maybe your mom can clean that up tonight." The cafeteria went dead silent. Jake turned around and froze. David's mom was standing right behind him in her work uniform. "Did you just disrespect my son?" she asked calmly. Jake smirked. "Look, lady, my dad owns half this town. You're just the janitor." David's mom smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "Son, I'm a former Marine with 3 combat tours. Your daddy's money means nothing to me." Something in her voice made Jake's face go white. The whole cafeteria was watching. Phones, recording, everything. "Pick up every single thing you just threw on my floor. Now." Jake looked around for help, but his friends had vanished. His hands shaking, he bent down and started collecting David's stuff. "Now, apologize to my son." To his face. "I'm sorry, David," Jake whispered, tears in his eyes. From that day on, Jake never bothered anyone again. Turns out military mom beats rich dad every time.